I'm Pule Mulebatsi for Stories Untold. Welcome to the show. This is definitely the home of good news. Thank you for being here. Remember, you can also share those great news of yourself or members of a community that's doing incredible work. It's as easy as just putting a hashtag on social media at Stories Untold, SABC. Today, we honor and celebrate our South African youth as we usually do annually on the show. And today, we begin our story with the youngest ever station manager at Alex FM. It's not about that position or that achievement that has brought us here today, but it is his story to success and how he made it to the top. The very same story that we are sharing with you today on the show. Let's have a look at Takalani Nemangowe's story.
Takalani, who was once the youngest radio station manager in South Africa, came to Alexandra looking for opportunities, but ended up creating them for others.
I grew up listening to SABC, Travel FM, and I was inspired by the presenters of the station. I kept telling myself that one day I want to see myself behind the mic. A friend of mine, who's now my colleague, Semira Mudike, told me about Alex FM. I did not know about them. And I then came to Alex FM to try my luck, and then I was accepted. Then during June holidays, I came, I spent about 3 weeks. And then with Alex FM in the news department as a reporter, I was learning a lot of things at that time. And I went back to school to complete my thing. That was in 2012. Then after I graduated in 2013, like I said earlier on, there's a problem of youth unemployment in the country. There are no jobs. So like many of the young people of the country, I was unemployed. I did not know where to go. I then reached out again to Alex FM to say, look, I'm now very much available. I can volunteer my time so that I gain more experience and expertise in the field of radio and broadcasting as a whole. They allowed me that opportunity, and I'm forever grateful. The former president, Nelson Mandela, once said in one of his books that Alexandra was a home away from home. I share same sentiments. Alex gave me a home away from home.
Takalani's face lights up when he speaks of his love for broadcasting, and his journey at Alex FM brings joy to his heart.
Sanibonke ihora lesibili ntambama emsazweni Alex FM indaba sifundo nohlanganipho kwambatha. Sanibonani loyo ke waba ngusihlalo webhodi lesikole esikoleni iKhatha Primary School Alexandra.
News department is very close to my heart because that's a place where I'm one broadcaster who I've never done a music show. I do love music, but news comes first, So I've spent most of my time in news. So I love news and hardcore news like politics, service delivery issues, profiling prominent people in the community. So that's where you'll find me. So news department is very close to my heart.
After being appointed station manager at the tender age of 23, Takalani took on the role with bravery.
The issue of age, I believe age is just a number. Yeah, age is just a number. I did not see myself as a very extremely young person to take up the role of being a station manager. I mean, running one of the most successful community radio station in the country, one of the first few community radio station to be established post apartheid. So I just took the responsibility and ran with it, and I'm forever appreciating my colleagues for being there for me, supporting me, and we're able to turn the station around. As a station manager, you are really responsible for obviously leading a team. There's a team of about 45 young people here at Alex FM that I lead in their respective departments, and ensuring that the station is also complying with all relevant regulatory bodies like your ICASA, and of course bringing money to the station so that the lights can be on. Collectively as a team, over the years, we've managed to do very well, and our work was obviously even recognized on a national platform, even on an international platform.
While carrying out his leadership role, Takalani has come across a few challenges.
Community radio station LXFM was also not spared. Founded on the same year as the country's democracy, looters ripped the community radio station apart in just minutes.
Events of July 2021, the lootings and the unrest took not just Alex FM back, but the country as a whole. That experience, I will not wish anyone to go through it. I believe, yes, there are issues. We are, not happy with certain things as the citizen of this country, but there are ways in which we can express ourselves. There are ways in which we can find solutions to our problems. Alex FM is one of them, because we are a community platform. We're a platform of engagement. We are the voice of the community. When the community has issues or problems, they can utilize the very same Alex FM to seek solutions. They can utilize the very same Alex FM to hold the executive to account.
Today we continue looking and celebrating at our South African youth, and just before we went to commercial break, we took a journey with Takalani Nomenguwe, the youngest station manager at Alex FM. This is to encourage our youth to pursue whatever it is that they are passionate about. And if you had stopped in your pursuit of success, I hope that we kicked you into the right gear. We continue on the same note. This time we touch base with entrepreneur Morero Moloi.
Morero Moloi, a family man, social entrepreneur and businessman who has failed a number of times in business, now runs a successful muffin enterprise.
I own a company which is called Macmore International. The company was founded here actually in Soweto, right in the middle of the storm of COVID. And what then happened is that all my other businesses collapsed. And I found myself, like most South Africans, where I had no income. Lerato, who is my business partner, is actually my older sister, as I rightfully said. She used to be in corporate, and I literally had to beg her after the company had just started. I had to beg her, myself and my wife, Keleto, had to literally make sure that we beg her to leave corporate and come and join the business, because she would then help us with building all the recipes and so forth within the business. She's played an integral role, because till this day she's the chief of operations in the business. She oversees the quality control over the business. She oversees the HR aspect of the business, and that customers are able to get the right products at the right time every single day. There was a strong need, because a lot of people were becoming retrenched during COVID and all of that, and I decided, let me just start this business which focuses on empowering other people.
Morero used the franchising path to grow his business, while giving others an opportunity to be entrepreneurs as well.
My core focus in my business is making franchising inclusive. That's why I started this business. So along my journey of being a serial and social entrepreneur, I always wanted to buy a franchise. You think of all these big restaurant franchises that are international. You think of, literally petroleum stations and so forth, which are franchises, which are so successful. We see them every day. That was always one thing I wanted to own. And I realized, looking at where I'm coming from financially and so forth, I realized I never ever would never afford that, And I remember it was the early days when I got married to my wife, and I shared this idea, and I said, I really want to own a franchise, but I want to have this business which empowers people. And I want people who are like me, who'd like to own a franchise but can't afford it. I want to make those people franchisees, and they need to own a business which someone has started, someone has done all the failing throughout the business, has done all the costing of the business, has a product which is a brand which people have fallen in love with, and affords people an opportunity to become part of that thing through franchising, and that was my growth strategy. I always say I could have just employed a couple of unemployed people, put them in every corner, gave them uniform, paid them a salary. But that was not fulfilling me, you know. I wanted something which I could literally say to you, you now own a business, but you don't need to worry about having a bakery. You don't need to worry about going to buy stock. You don't need to worry about all those things. A lady by the name of Nosipho Zama, who she couldn't afford the franchise when we started. But what I did, because I knew her, I knew where she was working, I then I approached her and said, we're willing to let you take half of your profits that you get from selling these muffins, and then we'd retain the other half until you fully paid off your investment of buying a franchise. So I've literally always believed in helping people as I'm doing this business, and yeah, that's what I continue. That's what makes me sleep at night, knowing that I help people.
We met with Nosipho, a Macmore franchise owner.
It started with a tray of 4 muffins for tasting at the time, and I was asked to basically make other people taste at work. And at the time I didn't have the income to buy the franchise, but I sold my way through buying the franchise. I sold enough muffins, which individually led me to having enough money to buy a franchise. So with this being said, on my off days, I'm able to sell muffins. I'm able to even get my sisters who are currently students to help me push the business as well. It helps. I mean, you don't have to do anything. And the packaging sells itself. People are so intrigued by it that they want to know what's inside. They want to taste what's inside it before even opening it. So from the outside going in, everything tastes so good.
Macmore Muffins supplies some of the biggest brands in South Africa, and Murero is still 100% hands-on. The franchise owner still does his deliveries every morning, and he strongly believes in self-development. Employees at Macmore Muffins have a special place in Murero's heart. He sees them as an integral part of his business.
We entered into competition where we had to pitch our business and tell them about what we're doing, what Macmore is, show them our muffins and so forth. And we thought that we were going to win 30,000 Rand as the first prize, but we received an even bigger prize as a company.
On that competition, we're going to Netherlands for business training.
We received the prize to get business training in Netherlands, where they'll be taking us at Macmore to Netherlands to basically show us how production is done, upskill us, give us all the resources that we need as a business to be able to grow. My employees, I always tell them I'm their colleague. We're the same when it comes to that business, and I always say to them that that's their business, so that's why they all treat it like it is their business, you know. I believe in empowering them because they're the legacy of the business. One day, tomorrow, I might wake up and decide to go start Macmore in another country. I need them to have ownership mentality, and what we've done at Macmore is that we've actually taken people who don't come from baking, who've never sat in a baking school. We've taken ordinary people who've struggled with their own struggles. You know, we've got some who've struggled with alcohol. We've had some who struggle, with various things which they've struggled with. And today, they tell you right now that they employed at Macmore and they love it and it's their home. So that's my core focus. I intend on empowering hundreds and hundreds of people.
It's important that we always look back at where we come from. As one of South African youth myself, it is my history that has turned and shaped me into the person I am today. With the youth that we are journeying with today, we'll look at how that history has shaped them and contributed to their success.
Both our young leaders attest who they have become to the rich history of South Africa.
This beautiful museum that is here right in the heart of the community of the Alexander in the greater region of the city of Johannesburg, it represents a very important history of our country. As you do the walk around here, you'll see the pictures, the resilience, the fighting spirit of this youth of that time, how they fought so hard for this democracy that we are currently enjoying. So it is important for this kind of this piece of history to remain available to young people like myself, to come at all given times to learn about the correct history of our country. So me being here, when I go through all these placards and all these beautiful pictures that are posted here, it challenges me to say, what, with all these resources that I have, can't I do much more better to empower myself?
I believe in our history. I mean, Mandela has taught us a lot. I think if you look at his teachings and you look at how he approached the world, he's actually probably one of the first people that taught us that we can go to the world and we don't need to wait for the world to come to us. And that's why even one of the key things about my business is called McMore International. It's built for the world.
Those who work closely with these two young leaders speak highly of their leadership and their excellent conduct.
He's a man now who's bringing up new talents, who's grooming other people, encouraging us. He's younger than me, but he encourages me to become a better leader tomorrow. And I see a lot of people coming to him seeking advices because of the person who he is. And he goes out there, speaks like a leader who has got a very, very clear vision going forward. You saw what happened during our lootings. He was constantly there and he led us and we followed. Today the station is back on air, and I can tell you a secret. Takalani make it possible for the station to go back on air the same day. So that's the kind of person he is.
The packaging, is very professional. They don't take anything for granted. How they present, every person that we offer these muffins to in terms of giving service to our customers. The first thing that strikes them is the presentation, the packaging of the muffins. Very impressive and, very up to standard. You wouldn't say, especially that it's a male, doing women's stuff, but taking it very seriously.
Takalani and Murero are very confident of the difference they've already made in respective industries. The pair believes that they are making a positive impact on their communities, bringing change into the world one day at a time.
Over time, we've produced a lot of talent. It always, makes us feel very grateful when we see someone that we have trained from scratch, as raw as they were, going all the way to even work for a public broadcaster. So it shows that we are a necessary resource in the community.
I've changed the franchising industry. I've made people look at their businesses differently. I've made people look at a small business with a big eye. I've made people to be able to become not only breadwinners, but life changers, not only changing their lives and their families' lives, but changing the world. I see Morero as a person who will be traveling the whole world and making sure that we grow McMore into the whole world, making sure that we grow all our product offering, not only muffins, but growing our entire product range throughout the world. And I just see myself as a person who will be giving hope to the youth, giving hope to people who are young adults, and making them take ownership and understand simplified entrepreneurship and how they can coexist within this whole ecosystem of being entrepreneurs.
And with that, we end our show here for today. A big thank you to our featured guests for sharing their stories with us and in turn inspiring you at home. Remember, you can also change your world the best way we can. Together, we can make a big contribution in seeing South Africa the way that we want it to be. It starts with one action. From myself, Pule Molubatsi, and the rest of the team, thank you for being here. Let's do this again, same time, same place.